the head in the dumpster. New York City had seen its fair share of weirdness, but this week, things took an even darker turn. Early one morning, a head was found in a dumpster behind a laundromat. Just a head. No body, no ID. Just a head with curly black hair and a gold tooth. Diego Furlong, as usual, was at the crime scene before the cops had even finished putting up the tape. He stared at the head being held by the officer, and then it clicked. He recognized that glint in the eyes. "Hey, let me see that," he said, taking the head for a closer look. Turning it over, Furlong sighed. It was his old friend, Carlito Machado, a magician and a cheat. Carlito, how did you end up here, my friend?" Furlong muttered to himself, half in disbelief. At that moment, someone from the crowd shouted, "I heard he stole someone's Rolex and a gold tooth." Furlong couldn't help but chuckle. Carlito always went too far, and this time, it had cost him dearly. It didn't take long for Furlong to learn that. Carlito had been involved in a poker game with some guys who didn't take kindly to cheats. Later that day, Furlong found Carlito's body floating in the river, headless and positioned, almost artfully, clutching every watch he'd ever stolen. Carlito, Furlong muttered, shaking his head. "You were always a fool to play tricks on real criminals. And now, this is how you end." The case wasn't hard to crack. Carlito had joined a poker game with a group of immigrants from South Africa who had recently moved to New York. These guys were notorious for their brutal methods and weren't shy about resorting to violence. Carlito, being his usual self, tried to pull a fast one, but this time, the trick didn't work. The South Africans quickly figured him out, and they didn't let it slide. They lured him to the basement of a bar where they usually played, and there, they dealt with him, leaving his head in a dumpster as a warning to every other cheat in the city. Furlong sighed again, the weight of New York's relentless brutality pressing on him. "In this town, you never know when the cards are going to turn against you," he whispered, walking away from the alley, a smoking gun in hand, leaving a trail of bodies in his wake.